Nobody in here yet, but Facebook is usually slow on the uptake. So good afternoon, everybody. Just adjusting my camera wobble there. What do I got for you? I don't actually have a tasting for you today. This is more like a business kind of thing that I'm stumbling over, obviously. I am having a drink, as you can see. I'm having some more of the raspberry mead from McAlpine Meadery. Good stuff. I'm most of the way through the bottle. Nice and refreshing for a hot day like today. So, what are we here to talk about? Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff that, as far as the direction of the Spirits Club. And I just wanted to give everybody a heads up and try to kind of whet your appetite a little bit for all that stuff. I cleaned up the Facebook page as far as the graphics go a little bit. I think it looks just a tad more professional the way I have it. I liked the old graphic, but I thought it was just a little cartoony after it sat for a while. It was one of those things that looked really good when you first put it up there. And after I sat for a while, I was kind of like, not really keen on it. So I switched that up. I finished putting together the basics for the YouTube channel. Right now, the only thing that I am waiting for is I'm waiting for it to be activated for live use. Because I guess with YouTube, if you're going to use it for live streams as well as for just videos and things, you have to go through an activation process or some silly nonsense. I don't know. Pardon me. But so I'm waiting on that. It takes about 24 hours. I put it through last night, and so probably sometime tonight or tomorrow it should be ready. Then I can connect the StreamYard service, which is the interview service that we're going to be using. It is a browser-based connection service, a lot like Discord, Google Hangouts, Skype, that kind of thing, but it just connects to people via their browser through YouTube and things like that. So in order to connect the two, I have to have my YouTube set up. The YouTube is just about ready, and then the StreamYard will be ready, and then I can start doing interviews. So that'll be great. So anybody who wants to come on, if you are a connoisseur, if you're an industry insider, if you are a brewer, if you are a distiller, doesn't matter, big, small, if you make your own beer in your own home, and you sell it to friends, or you give it out to friends or whatever, and you have your own labels, I don't care. Come on, talk about it. Tell me about your process. I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to get you introduced to a lot more people out in the wide, wide world. So, that's what we're going to be doing. So that's next on the horizon. I also have all of the old original episodes of the Spirits Club from our Patreon. I've got all those finally downloaded. And I'm trying to decide if I want to just put them up as is, as kind of like a historical nostalgia, this is how the thing got started, or if I want to add some editing and do intro cards, outro cards, get the theme song and all that other kind of stuff, which I am working on the theme song with somebody right now. I have something that's started that's possibly commissioned. They're working out some various ideas for me. And I'm looking forward to what the final product is for that. I'm kind of like, it should be good. So I might just put those videos up just to get some content started. Most of those videos are myself and Rob over at the Uncanny Studios doing various testings. We tasted the Sexton, we tasted the Dutch Bourbon Whiskey, we tasted the War Master, a lot of classics in there. And then there was our 2-part beer tasting episode where we found some pretty not so good beers. Yeah, some good ones and some not so good ones. So, like I said, I may put those up just for nostalgia, or I might wait until I can do some more editing magic on them. I'd like to get things kind of put up as soon as possible, though. So I'll probably end up getting kind of like, I'm bored of waiting, so I'll probably just put them up anyway. And maybe I'll go back and remaster them later. I don't know. I don't think it's called remastering if it's video. I think it's re-editing or something. I don't know. What else? I have different topics that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to be talking about infinity bottles very soon. Infinity bottles are a super interesting subject, and I'm into that whole scene right now. I'm experimenting with 3 of them right now. If you already know what they are, you'll be kind of like, If you don't, you may want to find out. Infinity bottles. Good stuff. They're a little expensive. They take time. But I think they're going to be worth it. I have some high hopes for what I've got blending right now. So, infinity bottles. What else do I have come up down the line? Of course, the interview stuff. I'm also going to be doing, like I said in the last video, I believe I said it, I'm going to diversify and start getting some other things that are not strictly whiskeys and whatnot, because almost everything we've done has been whiskey. Man, dusty in here. Yeah, we've branched out a little bit, so we've got the mead here. We did some beers in the original series. We did shoot video for several other things that were supposed to go over a number of weeks, and Rob has all those videos right now. I'm just waiting for when he has the time to send those up to the Dropbox and get those all uploaded. Because that has the Botanist Gin, it has our tasting of the Octomore, which I'd already had, but he hadn't. It has the Misunderstood ginger whiskey. So there's a lot of good things in those. I'm just waiting on, because he's got a lot going on. I don't want it to seem like he's dragging feet or anything. He's got a lot of stuff going on, and that's fine. That's fine. I have a whole bunch of stuff on my end too, so kind of meeting in the middle about the whole thing is just logistics. So I have in the mail, it hasn't shipped yet, but it's been ordered. I have some Diplomatico Exclusivo, some rum coming in, which I've already tasted before, but I don't think I've done a video about it. I may have, but I might do a second one just to remind everybody what it's like. So I've got that coming up. We've got the cocktails episode coming up where we do some mixing. I'm supposed to do that with Rob and do some classics like the Old Fashioned, the Dry Martini, the Manhattan, a few other things like that. And we might be doing some homebrew stuff that we just throw together into a glass and see what works. Might be tasty, might be gross, might be scary, might be, I don't know. So I'm going to be doing that. I'll also have a feature on containers. I know a lot of people, they just keep their spirits in a bottle. Perfectly fine. I keep a lot of mine just in the original bottle. But some people like to have their decanters. Some people like to have their decanters kind of scattered around, filled with some good stuff. This one's empty right now. This one had, the last thing that this had in it was some really awful rum that I can't even remember the name of. It was in a plastic bottle, and it very much tasted like plastic, and it was pretty gross. I took it out of that and put it in here to try to salvage it and hoped maybe it would mellow out a little bit, and it didn't. It was gross. I think I actually ended up pitching the last little bit of it because it just wasn't. I made an effort to get through it, but it wasn't good. I don't remember the brand though, so I can't wave you off of it, but it was in a plastic jug, and plastic jugs usually are just... Other things I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be aging one of the choices from my shelf myself pretty soon here, via the use of a bourbon stick, or a whiskey stick, or however you want to call it. There's a few different names for it. But what it is, it's a piece of wood that's been taken from a previously used or previously charred or intended to be used barrel, like a barrel stave, and they've cut it into a little stick. And you take some spirits, you pour them in a decanter or something like that, and then you take the stick and you stick it in there for about 2-3 weeks, depending. I mean, you can take it out sooner, you can put it in later. What it does is it simulates the barrel aging process. So if you have something that's been aged for, 3 to 6 years, and you want to give it some character that maybe give it some taste like it's been aged longer, some more of a woody taste to it, you toss this stick in there. And I've experimented with this before, and I had pretty good results. I was really surprised. And it's unfortunate that I didn't have video of all that when I was doing it, because it was a pretty fun process, and the stuff that I'd bought was not the best when I got it. And with the stick, it ended up being salvageable. Not great, like not top shelf by any means, but it was definitely better than when it started. So I'm interested on seeing what would happen if I took something that was already kind of good and added this in and let it sit for a week or two to see what would happen. If it would ruin it, always a possibility, or if it would make it far and away as something that would be like, this is really amazing. So that's on the list too. I'm going to start documenting that process. I haven't picked out what spirit I'm going to use yet. I have a lot to choose from, but I have not picked one out yet. So if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. If you know my collection. If you don't know my collection, toss out some suggestions anyway, and if I have it, I'll use it. If I don't have it and I can afford it, I'll pick up a bottle and maybe I'll give it a try. What I have is actually something called the Bourbon Bullet. It's a piece of wood carved into the shape of a 50 cal bullet round, which is pretty clever. It's one of those, America kind of things, but that's not why I bought it. I just bought it because it was small, it would fit in most of my containers, and I wouldn't need a super large, tall bottle to do it. I can easily get it in and out. So that's on the menu for the future. So yeah, so that's the big update. That's what I have going on for the near future. I also want to make sure that I'm coordinating with the rest of the Uncanny Network. So a lot of the videos you're going to see, I will have at least one shout out or at least one mention of the network as a whole, and as of this Uncanny Earth, the flagship show, because I want to make sure that there's a lot of crossplay. And once Rob gets a little bit farther along, he's been doing a lot of streaming for his Uncanny Gaming section, which we have kind of a triumvirate right now. We've got this Uncanny Earth as the main point. We've got Uncanny Spirits Club, which is mostly my area of expertise, and we've got the Uncanny Gaming, which is mostly his area. As much as I'm a big gamer, I don't have the setup to do a lot of the good streaming and video and all that other good stuff for that. Mine's more focused for this kind of thing and is less on that kind of thing. So he has that mostly to himself, and I might pop in every once in a while, and maybe we'll play a game or something like that in somewhere in the near future. But those are the three pillars that we have right now. Plus, we have more ideas on the way. I don't know if anybody's been eager to find out about Uncanny Cooking, this Uncanny Kitchen. I don't know where we're at with that. It was just a kind of a funny idea we had. It was supposed to be a one-off special, but it may become a regular thing. I don't know. I have some ideas for that I still have to pitch to Rob, and I have not done that yet. So don't get too excited about all that until we've had some internal discussions about that kind of thing. So, lots of good stuff on the horizon. Lots of good drinking to do. I have a lot of stuff on the way. I've got stuff from Cedar Ridge. I've got the Diplomatico. I've got a couple other bourbons coming. I was able to secure another bottle of the Dutch bourbon whiskey, which I'm very pleased about, because that stuff is hard to find now. It is not cheap. This was probably one of the best prices I was going to get on it at the moment. And it's something that really isn't going to be... It's not like an unlimited run. It's a very limited thing. So it's not something that in the near future will be available. Once all the bottles are gone, all the bottles are gone. And I've got one in my collection, and now I'm going to have a second, which I'll probably do some tasting out of to see if they've changed the recipe, anything since the first run, or if they've done anything with it since then. I kind of doubt it. I bet it's exactly the same. So I'll probably taste it. but I'll mostly be saving it for the rare drink here and there. I also have some excitement for the near future if it gets here. There are a lot of things that they make in other countries that are not available here in the United States. Not because they don't like us, but, some places don't. Oh well. But because licensing internationally for spirits is kind of a tricky business. It's not easy to do. There's a lot of tariffs and there's a lot of fees and all kinds of stuff involved, all kinds of import things. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get the chance to try this. But if any of you guys are fans of the old Top Gear, not Top Gear America, and not the modern Top Gear, the old one, before Clarkson threw the meat at the guy and they all got fired. Well, he's the only one that got fired, but, if you guys are fans of that, or their show on Amazon, The Grand Tour, Mr. James May has a gin now. A gin. A parsnip gin, which is interesting. It's called Asian Parsnip Gin, because it's got parsnips, which are distinctly a very English kind of thing, and then it has a lot of Asian spices and peppers and things that are used in the distillate. So it's not available here in the United States so far. It is on unlimited bottling in the UK. It was going to be a limited thing, and then he made so much of it, I guess, that people were buying it up, and I guess people liked it enough that he's just selling it. He's continuing to make it as an ongoing thing. There's no limits to it now. So I'm hoping that becomes a thing that I can find here in the United States sometime in the future, because I'd love to try it. I'm not the biggest gin fan. However, I'm always open to something new and different, especially from somebody that I've been entertained by in the past. And the guys from Top Gear, from that era of Top Gear and the Grand Tour, have always been relatively entertaining for me for the most part. So I'd love to see what that is like. I'd love to see what the Asian Parsnip Gin is like. So what else? Do I have anything else that I can drop on you guys today? I don't think so. But as per usual, if you have something you want me to taste and review, whether it's a beer, a hard liquor, or even a wine, if I can find it around here. I mean, I don't know what kind of selection of wine we have here in Ohio as compares to other places. I'm not as up to speed on the availability of wine brands. Like, I don't know what's really rare. I don't know what's common. I don't know what you can get in every single 50 states. But if there's something that you want me to try, I'll try it. I hope you don't want me to try any boxed wine. I hope you don't. But I will. I'll try boxed wine. I'll have a boxed wine episode for you guys live here. I'm dreading it, but if that's what you want. But yeah, beers, wines, spirits, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to get a hold of the Crystal Skull vodka, which is produced by, or endorsed by, Dan Aykroyd of Ghostbusters and Saturday Night Live fame. Yeah, so I've got a lot of stuff on the list, a lot of stuff on the plate, a lot of stuff I'm trying to get in the glass, as they say. So again, if there's anything else that you guys want me to try, let me know about it. If you have any questions, any comments, anything that you think we should be doing once the show officially launches, then again, let me know. I'm trying to make sure that it's fun and interesting for everybody. I know I'm not the most fun to look at kind of dude, but I'm going to try to keep it upbeat. We're going to have little segments in between. I'm going to try teaching you some of the science behind distilling, brewing, and tasting. And I might even wear a goofy-looking scientist costume. Maybe. The stuff I do for you guys. I don't know. But keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. If you have any suggestions, like I said, let me know. You can use the new email address, uncannyspiritsclub@gmail.com. gmail.com. That is the official email for the Uncanny Spirits Club. Easy to remember. If you haven't yet, go find the YouTube, Uncanny Spirits Club. If you're having trouble, ask me for a link, because I've noticed that YouTube doesn't let you search for things that don't have a lot of content or that don't have a lot of weight behind them yet. They actually exclude them from search results, because I've tried to search for the show myself and I can't find it. I have to actually log into YouTube and that kind of thing and go manually in there. I can't just search it up and be like, oh, how's it doing today? Won't find it. Thanks, YouTube. Anyway, check the Facebook page, Uncanny Spirits Club. I have a link for it there. And subscribe, like, share, make sure you're all on board for when the show officially launches. As soon as I have a date for when that will happen, I will let you all know right here so you can be 100% prepared. I'm hoping we have a big channel warming party or something. I don't know. Do they do that? I don't know. But that's what I got. That's what I got for you guys. So, until then, cheers.